the more we repeat these bad cycles, we get karma. Like karma exists. Karma comes back to us in physical pain. It comes back to us in situational struggles, work, relationships, outside force struggles. It brings bad things. So you have to have boundaries for yourself. You have to end the cycles. You have to. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Liv's Thoughts. Today we have a passionate slash emotional talk about repeating the same cycle that is not good for you. I am just a queen of repetitive cycles. I have such a hard time pulling myself out of bad habits and bad cycles that do not, what's the word, benefit me at all. They damage me. And right now, I'm not going to get into too much personal detail because I do not want to share all my personal business on the internet, but I will give you a brief summary. I just give way too much to people that do not care about me enough, do not respect me enough, and do not respect other people enough. And I am choosing to repeatedly let a person into my life that is hurting me, hurting other people, not hurt like hurting. I don't take it like that. But just I don't want to say they're not a great person, but like they're not the best. And there's a lack of respect, I guess, that is there in my opinion with our relationship. And I'm having such a hard time walking away because I don't want to say addicted, but I am so used to chaos with men in my life. Ever since I was little, my relationship with men has been awful. Like, I don't want to say terrible, but I have never been treated super well by the men in my life. And my relationships with men have been very, for one thing, I'll say that. Even when I was younger, like 14, 15, only one thing. And I feel like in the eyes of men, I'm only looked at that way. I'm not looked at like relationship material, which doesn't so much matter to me anymore because I 100% want to fully know myself and find myself and be confident in my boundaries now before getting into any sort of relationship from here on out. Like, I need to figure my shit out before I let anyone else into any of my space. Like, seriously, friends are even hard to have right now. I feel like I'm very much in a space in my life where I need space from people because I have to figure this thing out and I need to learn how to have boundaries for myself. I feel like I have such a lack of not discipline, but I have such a lack of self-love in my self-worth area. And I know that this is like a lot to share on the internet, but I'm just being honest because I don't really have a hard time like sharing my feelings this way. And I think because so many of us struggle, I don't feel ashamed to feel this way because I know it comes from a lot of my relationships in my childhood and the way I was treated in my childhood. And I know a lot of it comes from my middle school years, not so much like when I was like a kid, more of like 10 to 15 was a weird time to be alive for me. And I see myself repeating patterns not only in relationships, but with food, with my discipline, with my habits. My habits are really, really bad in my like kind of hyper fixations. That's my BPD. I have really, 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 I don't, not before you knock my stuff over, sir. I have pretty severe hyperfixations on certain things. And I I tend to lose myself for a little bit and make my whole personality and a kind of identity based around that one thing and then come back and not really know myself. So I feel like I don't even have boundaries when it comes to my likes, like my hobbies. Like I don't have boundaries when it comes to food. I don't have boundaries when it comes to being organized and clean. Like it's boundaries I have to set for myself. And so I recognized this a few days ago. Actually, I recognized this a while ago, but it took me a hot minute to really sit on the idea and sit on how do I fix this for my life and like really work through this for my life, not so much the things I've heard from other people. So I've been sitting with it a lot and really thinking about how do I gain more self love for myself, and how do I come to more of a place where I can trust myself to be number one, fully me, not be lying about who I am and not covering up or like trying to mask my personality in any way, because I know I have strong ass intuition, and every time my gut tells me something's wrong, something's always wrong. Like there's always like, and I can pretty much pinpoint the exact reason. And it's just because I'm so wonderful at reading micro expressions. I can really, I got you on that one 100%. And I, when I have gut reactions, I don't overreact, but a lot of people think I do, because I'm not afraid to not confront them, but I'm not afraid to confront them with the way I feel about it. Because I feel like a lot of people are really fast to confront someone and start arguing. But I'm confronting you as a person that has not done you dirty. And I'm confronting you as a person that has only been nice to you and kind to you. And now you got to sit with that and realize that you just hurt me. I'm not going to say anything else. We're not arguing about it. We're not talking about it. It's done. Like, obviously we'll have a conversation probably, but like I'm not going to sit there and argue with you because of that, if that makes sense. So personally, I just think my biggest issue is setting boundaries, but let's really get into why do we repeat cycles? We repeat cycles that we are used to. We repeat cycles that we have constantly found ourselves in. So, how do we get out of repetitive cycles? Well, number one, where does it come from? It stems from like, I hate to be like a lot of childhood, but most of our morals, most of our habits we have, there's a lot of stuff that just comes from your childhood and the way that you grew up. It's your nurture. Like, how were you nurtured to look at the world? How were you nurtured to deal with problems? How were you like taught conflicts? Like, all of these cycles we have to break is because we've seen these patterns before in our lives, so we think it's normal. I have never seen in my family a healthy relationship. Like PDA wasn't a huge thing, so I grew up like I've never seen a super healthy relationship with like throughout my entire family. And most of my friends had divorced parents, so I was friends with people that were also in the same situation as me. I like often found myself relating to a lot of people and talking about it a lot, so I made that normalized in my head. So coming into relationships as an adult, friendships, romantic, work, like every literally every kind of relationship I can have with my relationship with strangers, everything comes from the way that I saw it when I was a kid. And I'm struggling to undo this because I worry so much about other people that don't have a lot of respect for me. And I said this in the beginning, but like I need to work on it, and I need to learn how to set up a boundary for myself and learn when to walk away. And when I walk away, realize that like that door is shut. And this being an adult, like I hate to be like emotional about it, but when you're an adult living in a big city, I realize that I'm not going to see that person around. I'm not going to I'm moving, like, in September, I'm moving to Austin, so, like, that person is not gonna be in my life anymore, there's no reason for us to be communicating, and so that's what's scary to me, because in my hometown, when you broke up with someone, you're gonna see them at school literally every day, you're gonna see them in town because our town is so small. Avoiding them is not, they're usually, like, in the same friend group, but when you're dating someone just off the bat in a huge city, it's just so it's so hard to let go of the comfort that they brought you, because you're in a huge city. You don't know everyone. It's not like your hometown at all. This is the first place I've lived since being out of my hometown. And it's, I hate to say it, but changing your environment, changing your situation, put yourself in different situations. If you're finding yourself finding shitty friends, if you're finding yourself finding shitty relationships, who are you choosing to surround yourself with? Let's start there. I can see myself with the men I surround myself with. I don't surround myself with the best men. I pick men that I feel like they're coming up, like they're gonna work on it. But that's never the case. Like I'm not gonna fix anyone. I'm not gonna convince anyone to change unless they want to do that. And it's taken me a long time to realize that. But I and putting myself into situations with men and friends that I know they're not going to be great people, and they're not the people that kind of like I expected them to be deep down at heart. And it's very shitty. It sucks. And I feel like I get caught in these situations because I'm too scared to walk away because I don't want to hurt the other person's feelings. I'm so scared of leaving someone else. Like, I am so terrified to leave some people that I really care about. Some people I can just up and go, nothing, no contact, and I'm fine. But there's some people I get really, really scared. I'm going to hurt their feelings and I'm going to make their lives worse, if that makes sense. So, and that sounds really conceited, and I'm sorry. I just caught that in my brain. I don't mean to sound conceited when I say that, but like, I don't want them. They were benefiting my life, and I feel like I was benefiting their life, and I don't want them to like lose that, and I don't want them to. I just want the best for them, but I know that we're not going to be vibing in that way anymore. Like, and genuinely, I'm talking about friendships more of right now. But yeah, a lot going on in my brain tonight, if I do say so myself. I've just gotten so frustrated with the fact that I'm letting myself get into situations that I know I can avoid. And you have to like genuinely make an effort to put yourself first and actually try to put yourself first, because that's a lot of our issues is we say we're going to do things, we say we're going to date ourselves and give ourselves self-love, and then we just start forgetting that we said that, and we start forgetting to like actually do the things, the hard things that we need to do. I feel like I've been lacking on the self-care aspect of my life the past few weeks. I feel like I've burnt myself out with a lot of worrying. I've burnt myself out with a lot of working. I'm not supposed to be working this much. I can't do this for much longer. Like, literally, I'm so excited to be a full-time trainer again, because what I'm doing right now is so not ideal. I love working at a coffee shop. Like, it's so fun. It was my first job too, and it's just like it's the best job I've ever had. But I can't be working these hours like this. I can't have this much of my personal time taken up anymore. No, not anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm so excited to move because I know when I change my environment and change the people I'm hanging out with and be able to hang around with more fitness people, I literally don't have any friends in fitness. I have one friend in fitness, and that's pretty much it. And so I can't even like work out with my friends because sorry guys if any of you are watching, but they don't work out the same as me. They don't even want to be there. And I'm so excited to work out. I love working out. It's my favorite thing to do. And I feel like I haven't been pushing myself. I think like the hard shit you have to do is on the day to day, not these like big journal prompts. Like, once you start to do these things on the day to day, that's when you get the epiphanies. And then that's when you realize that you weren't treating yourself well, or you were doing that habit and you kind of stopped, or you recognize a habit that you kind of have bad because you're doing other good things in your life. Why do we choose to be in such chaos? Like, why did it's such a universal experience for everyone to grow up in such a chaotic environment. Like, a lot of us grew up in a chaotic environment, and it's so easy to tell when someone had two married great parents to them, because it makes them like unrelatable in a sense. Because I feel like a lot of these things that we learn come from experiencing stuff, chaos, like deep chaos when you're younger, because you just build that reputation of that's how life is. When there's something that's bad, it blows up. Like, it's the end of the world. Uh, and I have a tough decision to make right now, and I don't want to make it. And I'm really struggling. I don't know what to do. I feel lost right now. I feel lost in my, what's it called? I don't trust myself right now. I don't trust myself to be make the right decisions for myself. I don't trust myself to be not working hard, but I'm really lacking trust in myself right now. And this is kind of an epiphany at the moment as well. Because wow, I just kind of talked a lot, and I think I'm gonna watch this video back and realize some more things because I'm kind of on a roll right now, and I'm gonna edit this right now. I need to end the cycle. I'm gonna end the cycle. I need to trust myself to end the cycle, and I'm going to. I need to eat dinner though, so I'm gonna let you guys go. I hope you guys have such a wonderful evening. I will talk to you later, and peace, love, and happiness as always.